I got to community work through a man named Reverend George Wine. I guess in 1961, maybe. He had a vision for our community that even though we were, as he would say, we were not a watermelon, we could be a good apple. And so we began to see with the vision that he had for us, mostly improving the education of our young people, not as a school, but as an after-school program. Because we realize our young people in school still need a little additional support. And so in 1981, we formally organized the Montrose Development Center, and we began doing projects through that. Basically, at that time, computers were something that were not many in our area. And so we began with a computer lab for our young people, and then we ended up with, I guess you'd say, a reading library, improving their reading skills and their computer skills, and that's basically what we did for a long time. And then as we began to grow, we added a food pantry to that, and so that's kind of what we did, work mostly with the young people.
And what's that territory that you cover? I mean, you
now,
worked out of town, Montrose.
Right. We were located in Montrose, and for, I guess, maybe 5 years of our work, that was the only place we worked. But then as we began to expand with the support of the Save the Children program, we began serving Ashley County.
Oh, okay.
And I guess we did that until about 4 years ago. And then 4 years ago, we received support from another organization because Save the Children was gone.
Yeah.
And we started serving mainline Ashley, which was Montrose, Portland, Parkdale, Wilmot. But we served all of Chico and Desha counties, providing, because they call it work ethics. That's my best word for it, work ethics. We teach them work ethics, and then we still work with their basic skills. So, with young people. If you'd never been there, I guess you would say rural, farm country. We used to be mostly cotton, but then that began to fail, and so then they went into catfish farming and soybeans, and now we grow so much corn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of, if you look around there, that's what you would see, a lot of earth. As a need, we began to focus on our young people going off to college, and for our immediate area, which is Ashley County, the remediation rates were so high. And so you can't be everything to everybody. But we began a new organization. That's our major focus, where work ethics is still a part of what we do. But we want to gear more toward trying to get those young people to be ready for college. Too many of them are graduating, they're not ready for a job, and they're not ready for college. And I think if we don't do what we can about that, that will continue. And it's too costly. It's too costly for the young people. Their life is involved in time that is really not benefiting them. And it's too costly for the parents to have to pay for something that they get no credit for. And so we began a new program, and it's called Curtis and Wilson Work Ethic Solution. Okay. And we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization. When you know, they would say, we're number one, you know. And I would say to them, when you have no number, you work harder. So we were not number one. We didn't have a number. So in order to survive and to provide the services, very limited though they may be, for our area, we had to learn how to network. We had to learn how to be willing to ask for what we did not have. And we were willing to share what we did have now. We were just not selfish. We were willing workers, because we went from a one-room shack with nothing in it to a center that had probably 20 computers, I don't know, 3 or 4 scanners. I can't count the printers. With internet system, it was just amazing to see because we didn't give up. We just continued to go. And it was amazing to see the resources that we were able to gather. When people would come to our site and they would see the outside and then they'd go on the inside, they'd be really surprised. They couldn't believe that we had that. And we would attend meetings with other small organizations, not as small as us. And they would say, Montrose got the internet. And they said, what? One thing, because every dollar, every dime we got, he was placed on providing services for those kids. We know our value, but our value meant nothing when it was about the children. And so whatever we received, it was put back into that organization so that our young people could learn about the computers. More than just, in some schools, you go in and the computer, you just type your name in. You don't know how to turn it on. You don't know how to turn it off. You don't know how to go from. And so that just really wasn't enough. Now, those things have changed now. But years ago, that's all they did. Type in their name, and then a program would pop, and then you just leave it there. Well, that's just not learning to me. You know, we wanted them to know more than that. But getting our young people involved, we also were able to reach some of our adults. Our first lady that I was so proud of, she was 75 years old. And she was with this program at Green Thumb or something, I can't remember right now. And she had been working in another county, but when the rules and things changed, she had to come to her own county. So it ended up, she was with us. But most of our young people were working on computers. She had no computer skills. When we finished working with her, she operates her own section. From 4 years to, I think it's six or 7 years old, she began teaching them computer skills. I mean, that to me, that was just it. Yeah, you know. And then we had others. We had people who had never been on an airplane, and they said they never would. But as we began to get other programs and other resources in our communities, well, you have to go to trainings, you know. Well, some of these places we didn't know how to drive to either. But the resources provided airfare. And they were able to go on the airplane. You won't believe what that does for people. Just the idea. Yes. And when they come back, and they are more energized for the work that they had to do.